You've likely heard the phrase, jack of all trades, master of none. I think sometimes we tend to assume that role when we're afraid of what people will think of us if we say no. Guess what? It's okay to say no. In fact, it's great to say no. And we'll talk about that in this episode of the VOHeroes podcast. I just had something happen that I wanted to share with you because it happens from time to time, and it's illustrative of the concept of knowing your strengths, playing to your strengths, and not being afraid to say no. I had an appointment for a private coaching session with a client, and within a few minutes of starting the session, it was clear that what she needed was an improv coach. It was for a voiceover job, but it was an improv thing that she was concerned about, not the actual. She's excellent. She's great. It wasn't the actual part, but they wanted them to improv a version of all of the things in the audition. And so I said, I'm not the right guy for this. And there are some people coaches who are afraid that if they were to say, okay, look, I know you paid me already. Let me just forward this money off to the guy who really can help you. I happen to have a friend who's awesome. You guys know him, Nathan Clark, who's awesome at coaching improv, both on camera and on mic. Let me get you to him, see if he's available, which he happened to be, which was great. It all worked out. And she was so sweet. She posted on Twitter, hey, you should have a coach like this. Nice job, or class act, or something like that, who's willing to say, I'm not the right guy for you. Here's who you should talk to. And to me, it seems as though that's brain dead simple. Why would you want to potentially impact someone's ability to get the job done just because you don't want to say, I'm not the right guy or I'm not the right girl for you? It is imperative that you understand your strengths, and it's imperative that you're okay with and at peace with saying no. This includes not only when people say, hey, can you do this? Without you going, oh, yeah, sure. Because we're trained as actors to go, no, I can do anything. I can, whatever you want, I can do. It's no problem, I can do it. 4-year-old Chinese girl, that's me, look at me, right? But you don't want to do that. You want to know what your lanes are, especially when somebody else's success is on the line. And especially when your success is on the line. Why not just say, no, thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I'm the right one for you. Do it judiciously. Don't do it because you're afraid of the results. If you aren't sure if you can do this, try it. See if it works. But if you're dead sure, no, I'm not the right one here, but I do know how I can help you. I do know somebody who is. Or if you don't know, just say, I'm not the right one. But don't be afraid to say no to an opportunity. Doing so with the right placement in your heart and the right placement in your brain, as opposed to working from a moment of fear. It wasn't like I was fearful of not giving her improv coaching. It's just not what I do. And so it applies also to our jobs. Sometimes people get an audition or they get an opportunity and they don't want to do it, or they don't feel they're best at doing it, or they simply prefer not to do it. It's okay to say no. And it doesn't mean that no one will ever hire you again because you said, oh my God, that guy, he said, no, I'm not going to, no. No? What do you mean, no? This is performance. You don't get jobs ever in performance. What do you mean, no? That's not how it works. Just have the faith in yourself that you're pushing, you're expanding, you're reaching, you're pushing yourself to expand your boundaries and to find new things to be good at. But if it's clearly not something that is right for you, feel free to say no. And have faith in the fact that that happens all the time and it's par for the course, and you can do that. It's not a problem. Here, let me write you a permission slip. I'll get to it after the podcast. If you want, hit the like button. I'd love to hear your comments on this. You can subscribe to the channel. You can hit the notification bell. There's all kinds of things you can do. I don't want to give you a job, but there are, and we'd love to hear your comments over at VOHeroes.com. If you know of an actor that might want to say no more often and just doesn't feel the urge to it, and you want to forward this to them, just copy and paste the address bar and forward it off to them in an email or a text or whatever you want to do. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I thank you so much for watching and for listening, and I will see you in the next episode of the VO Heroes podcast.